Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on a fifth Wednesday of the month. Right? We're still in April. Yep. Still a little bit more time. Mm-hmm. So usually when it's the fifth Wednesday of a month, it's a smaller release week, and that is the case this week. Although we both commented yesterday on how the titles that are coming out this week are no slouches. Mm-hmm. So fewer in volume, but not in quality. What'd you come up with this week?
So mine might be a bit of an odd one, but it's
literally
Oddball's Odyssey by Tony Millionaire. And so we were just talking about this beforehand. Tony Millionaire, if I can get his name out. He's mostly well known for, he's done a bunch of cartooning for various like newspapers like New York Times, New Yorker. He had a comic strip, I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but then he also did the Sock Monkey cartoon books over at Dark Horse back in like the 90s and 2000s, I think. But yeah, this is his first work, I think, in a while. It sounds like he's got like a little forward at the start where he kind of like gets into like why he decided to make this. But yeah, this is a book that follows Bobby the Monkey and Jimmy the Skunk on a little titular oddball odyssey. And we don't want to get too into it, but let's just say there's fights, there's love, there's dangerous monsters that are trying to get them. There's fart jokes. It's kind of something for everyone. Probably not for kids. There's a fair bit of swearing in here for sure. But yeah, it's just a super fun little book. I love in the foreword he talks about how like, please don't just like breeze through this. Just take your time with every like page and panel. And you really do want to once you start reading it. They're just like the expression work alone just really like makes you just want to like stare, just like dissect every line. It's just there's a bunch. I don't know, maybe depending on like our age range for viewers on this. If you watched old SpongeBob and remember those like close-up painted shots they'd have of characters who just were like really hit home like whatever like weird emotion they're feeling. There's a lot of panels in here that feel like that.
Sure. Well, and it's got kind of an, a throwback Pogo, Steamboat Willie kind of vibe.
Yeah, I think Pogo he specifically mentions as one of his influences.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. And it's got kind of the hero's journey kind of thing going on, a la Pinocchio or what have you, So yeah, this is one that... we had a little tiny bit of interest in it at Final Order Cutoff, and it caught my eye. I probably didn't order enough, so we'll have to see how this goes.
If I knew this was coming out, I 100% would have put it on my list. This was just a gorgeous book and a fun read.
And it's thick.
Yeah, no, like it's divided into like 3 parts, and it's just we don't have a whole lot, so make sure you come and get them, and maybe we can see if we can get some more after this.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see. Mm-hmm. So. All right. Well, fantastic. We're off to a good start.
Speaking of a good start.
Yeah. Well, so I went with Zatanna #1, the new ongoing from Jamal Campbell. So I guess that the miniseries that came out, what was that, a year ago?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah. Had enough support that they decided let's do.
I know we were selling out.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, the concept is that Zatanna decides that she needs to solve problems across all the planes, that are magic related. Mm-hmm. And so apparently there used to be a Prime Magus, and but this title has been vacant, I guess, for millennia. And so she thinks like, hey, I should bring this back, and I'm going to be the one who does it. Mm-hmm. And then we also find out that the government also, the American government also thinks that there's probably some concerning things happening in the realms of magic that they need to be proactive about in solving problems. So Zatanna bumps into the first couple representatives of that agency. And then, we're on this, we get kind of dropped in at the end of her first kind of caper, I guess, as as the Prime Magus, and it gets resolved, but it's in a way that you know that this is going to continue to be a thread as we go.
Yeah, there's definitely more going on than just like saving this one person.
Yeah, so what I really liked about this was it gives you the one story to get things going. You like I said, you kind of come in at the end of it, but that's all that you really need to know. Mm-hmm. It sets the table for, all right, this is what we're doing in the book. This is the whole premise, and you get it. It makes sense. You know, it's a really good concept that you can do a ton of stuff with. And then this is going to kick off the story as it goes from here. And we've got the thread that's going to go through all of it. But then at the end of the book, you also get a bunch of references to things that have happened in Zatanna's past that are also going to be brought back. So it does that perfect thing of, we're telling the story in the here and now with how things are going. We're telling you where we're planning on going with this in a general kind of concept-y kind of way. And then we're telling you, oh, by the way, the stuff that you've read in the past is also going to come back, and that's going to get all woven in. And the storytelling is crisp, it's sharp, it's fun. I really like Zatanna's voice in this book. Like, she's just really likable, and she's, you know, in the mini-series, she had a really fun cast of characters around her. I think that's going to continue to be the case here as well.
They already kind of teased like some of the villains from that are going to be showing up again. Correct. So I'd imagine some of that supporting cast as well.
And it's just gorgeous. This is exactly, Campbell is such a perfect fit on Zatanna because the look is so great.
And just the way he plays with the layouts too really sells how these are like different magical places.
The flowing element of it, it's just crazy. So I highly recommend. This next level launch has been so good so far. I knew that I was going to like this book because it's essentially just a continuation of the miniseries, and I love the miniseries. But like Firestorm was way better than it should have been. Lobo was with the Lobo creative team, you knew that it was going to be good. But man, we're just off to such a good start. I'm so impressed with DC right now. All right, well, DC's got a good start, but does Marvel have a good end?
Well, let's find out with our joint pick this week, Ultimates issue 23.
Yeah, and so we're pulling up on. Wait, is 2024 is the end? So this is the penultimate issue. Yeah.
And what a penultimate issue.
It was not what I was expecting. And I was telling you this just a little bit ago. It totally took me off guard.
Like there's a moment right at the start where it's just like, I think I know where this is going. And then you get to the end, it's just like, oh, they did that. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah. And just in between is just nothing but some of the most gorgeous. I talk about this a lot since I've been picking Bleeding Hearts over at Vertigo recently, but Stephen Morian is just fantastic. And him coming on as a guest artist for this issue to tell basically the tale of Ragnarok, Gutta Damarang is, I think, like the Norse version they use in here. But boy, could you not have picked a better artist for that.
Yeah. I was really struggling before to kind of explain the way that it felt, but it had this, every once in a while we'll get this underground 70s fantasy comic that comes in, and, it's got this real pen and paper, classically trained artist kind of vibe where they're going over the top with these fantasy exaggerations of things, but in a way that is extremely intentional. And what I loved about this is there was not like a formulaic look for any of the characters. In fact, they're not even consistent throughout this thing. Sometimes you'll have Thor look kind of old and tired, and other times he's got this giant lantern jaw. And like, that's not the point of this, right? The point was to have each panel, and then a lot of times each spread be its own individual piece of art that matched what was happening in that moment.
And narratively, it really works because part of the whole thing in this issue is playing with like the perspective of time, like how these kind of like grand events move and flow. Because like our seconds passing, our millennia passing,
right?
Like what is kind of like the order of some of this even?
Yeah,
it just like it has this feeling of you've just been like dropped into the middle of mythology,
Yep.
and you're just kind of having to like go with it as best you can.
Yeah, and because it's such a big story and it's in a single issue, you really feel that stretch and collapse of time as you're reading it. And I had to speed read this morning because there's been so much going on. So it really had this kind of, surreal effect. And this is one of those books where after I've had a chance to digest it for a day or two, I'm going to go back and just flip through and just stare at every panel because it's just gorgeous. I'm so excited. Turns out things don't always go so great for gods.
Yeah, but at the same time, like one door closing might be another door opening kind of situation.
Oh my. Yeah.
And going back to the art quick, one of the things that if you read the most recent New Gods run over at DC, Morgan actually did, because they had little guest artists on certain portions of each book. Morgan did a portion on one, and ever since I'm just like, man, it'd be really cool to see him get to like more with this kind of stuff, and then you get to like see him on here. It's just kind of been like a wish fulfilled, which has been super cool.
Yeah. Well, and who knows? What we don't really know what direction Marvel's going to go in the future, so. Maybe there's some potential there. That would be super cool.
If I'm happy, I want him to stay in Bleeding Hearts as long as possible. If he can fit in his schedule to do more Thor-related stuff, that'd be cool as heck.
Hey, Mora does like 5 books at a time.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
All right, well, we spent a lot of time up here talking about these 3 issues that have great artists, so let's throw to our segment with our guest artist for Free Comic Book Day. So here's us talking to Vincent Strait, who will be here this Saturday for Free Comic Book Day.
Okay.
All right, so here we are with our special guest artist for Free Comic Book Day this year. We're very excited to announce that Vincent Strait is going to be with us. And if you've been in the shop, you've definitely seen the Ninja Turtles poster that he did with his special Ninja Turtle that you created yourself.
Absolutely.
Just for
gotta have
S's
a backstory,
G's, right?
Oh yeah.
So that has gotten a lot of attention, but we've been carrying your prints for years, and they're just awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got interested in art and how you got to the point that you're doing stuff that is like, related to what we're doing on Free Comic Book Day, superhero stuff and comic books and that kind of stuff.
Real good. Well, I got started because I got stuck at home with the kids. That ended up being my job. And that wasn't very flattering. It was pretty tough, cleaning up puke and wiping diapers. So
oh man, I've been there.
I needed to do something else. Everybody said I was always pretty good at drawing. So I picked up the pen and the pad and moved out of the computer and just took it from there. And here we are today, getting easier. Yeah.
And you and I have talked a lot about the amount of detail that you put into all the pieces, and that is one of the things that customers who look at your work, like people will sit here and just move around, particularly this Ninja Turtle one, because it's so prominent here in the store, and they'll go, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, April's back on a picture with Splinter back there. That's so cool. So, like, I know some of the works that you've done take days and days and days of just sitting at it. Like, how do you keep motivated to keep doing it?
Well, I don't know if I can say everything on this podcast. Good music helps, you know what I mean? Sure. And like just kind of get into your own world, man. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing. I gotta set alarms so I don't forget to pick up the kids from school. For sure. Stuff like that, absolutely, yeah.
So what kind of items are you going to be bringing to the show that people can expect to be able to shop from? Because you're going to have a booth set up and you're going to have some prints and
absolutely,
and
so I'm going to I'll have stickers, just kind of random stickers out. I sell artist prints, which are 13 by 19 on cardstock, a nice heavy duty print. And then I'll also have these posters right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You can flip through. I have tons of stuff. I got all kinds of art.
And then you do a lot of custom art. I know, like going through your social media feed. Like, what's with the van? Where's the van? Is that like a Photoshop thing that you did, or
what van?
I don't know, man. Well, we'll go back and look at it. But you do custom work for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I do wraps. That was on a rock climber.
Oh, sure.
So that's on the opening page. So that's fun. And he just hit me up, Colton. That's what's up. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually be redoing that whole wrap this year, so it's gonna be pretty sweet. I do pretty much everything, man. I do any kind of, I make CD covers. I just did one of those. T-shirt design. I mean, I do everything. If somebody calls me, if I don't know how to do it, I figure it out. So
yeah, so we'll put the link to your social media accounts
right there, and then
yep, and so if people want to take a look at the kind of work that you do and get an idea ahead of time, and then you'll be here to talk about you know the options that you've got for custom work that people can do, but also the prints and everything available.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be staying most of the day.
Yeah,
here I'll be here when you guys open, and I will also, for the people out there, be giving away a print of this Murder Falcon that I just drew up. That took me about. It's one of those ones that took forever. There's all kinds of hidden stuff in there. The more you look at it, the more you find. So if you follow me on social media and you put your name in the jar, you got a chance of winning this one right here, guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sir.
All right, so we're going to be here. Open the doors at 11 a.m. You'll be here, set up,
I'll be ready to roll. Yep.
And then we'll have free comic books as long as they last, and you'll be here as long as people are showing up and staying engaged. So that's this Saturday, May 2nd. Doors open at 11. And while supplies last. Thanks for joining us, Vincent. We're
comic books
super
are back,
excited
baby.
for Saturday. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome, yep.
All right, let's go look at the dragon now.
Let's go check it out. Yeah, no doubt.
All right, well, I swear there was a van. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe it was a fever dream. I don't know.
Crazy. I have expected that whole video to fall apart at that point. So the fact that it didn't.
He saved us.
Yes.
Thank you, Vincent. So we're very excited to have Vincent here. We're also going to have a duo of miniature creators. So one is the 3D printer of the two, and the other is the painter. So they will be here with a booth set up as well.
You've both seen their solo handiwork here in terms of
yes. If
both
you've been in the
painting
store, you've seen work of each of them. And then we also have
a couple other comics creators.
They're prominently featured in our poster in the window because they were kind enough to provide that. So Broken Trident issue 2 is dropping on Free Comic Book Day. So it's been years in the making, and that's been done by a local duo writing and editing that book. So excited for them to get that. And then we've got the face painting. There's like 40 plus titles. So the way that it works, we always get a lot of questions about this. Yes, you can pick more than one comic book and take it home. No, you cannot pick up multiple copies of the same comic book. So you can leave with a stack, but they have to be all different comic books. You can't leave with a stack of all the same ones. And the idea is, look, speculating on this stuff is not the point. The likelihood that they would ever be worth anything as commodities is very low anyway. The idea is that we want to get as many people exposed to the comic books that they're interested in as possible. So if you've got a household of 5, you can share a title amongst each other. So it's one copy of any or all issues per household. So just try to make it so everybody can get involved. And that's great for you as comic book readers, because the more people that are reading comics, the more comics are going to be supported, the more comics are going to be published.
I think actually Robert Kirkman in an interview recently was talking about how much of a fan he is of Absolute Batman, not just because he thinks it's good, but it's also like it's getting people into stores, and because of that they're like coming in for Batman, leaving with like 5 image titles. So
right,
that's great for us. It's just like, you can't complain about that.
Hey man, it's good for all. So all right. Well, so it's a short week, or a small week rather, because of the extra week in the month. But what else did you have that was close to making it up here?
Justice League Intergalactic Special was really good. I was telling you before, it's kind of what I really wanted from Unlimited as a title, and just in terms of like a bunch of random characters that you don't normally get to see together having a little one-off adventure. I really enjoyed that about it. It does also set up for a couple of the characters have a mini-series coming up for Pride Month that's going to be a weekly there. So it's got a nice little contained story, and also just kind of like a little setup for another one if you're interested in that too. We were both talking about how, and Planet She-Hulk into this week.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And it's really funny how it spends a lot of its runtime just being like, hey, so this got cut short. Screw you, Marvel.
Yeah, it was meta in that way, right? Like, which works for She-Hulk, but it's also, you're sad as you're reading it because it was like, what could have been?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, and get on into your local comic book shop, especially this Saturday for Free Comic Book Day. In addition to free comics, we'll also be running sales, including all the dollar book inventory will be marked down to 25 cents an issue. 2 bits an issue.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? 1960 something? I don't know. No, 70.
Yeah, we're in the
1974.
70s.
We will also have, let's see, we're doing 25% off on, right? Wait, now I'm forgetting what all of our sales were. We've got 10% off the high-end wall books, 25% off the mid-range wall books and back issues. We've got
10% off repack toys, I think.
Yep.
I want to say we're also doing
and statues, toys
Yep.
and statues.
And then also selling the discount graphic novels.
Yeah, they're going to be 75% off instead of 50% off. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So I better go double check my numbers and make sure we don't have to re-record this. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday. If not, we will be back next week with more Pulp Picks. Until then, enjoy the reading.
I can't dance, 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 dance.